So I think we're all going to have to admit 2020 has been pretty bad, but are there any silver linings?
Joining us to tell us what they thought were the best parts of this terrible year, our Democratic strategist Jennifer Holdsworth and Senior Director of Policy at the Conservative Partnership Institute, Rachel Bovard. Ladies, so great to see you both, and happy holidays, by the way.
Good to see you guys.
Happy holidays. Good to see you.
All right, Rachel, I'm going to start with you, and you can interpret this broadly. So either in a political sense or just generally, what do you think was like the best part or the best moment or the best thing that happened in 2020?
So one of my favorite parts of 2020, which is sort of my vice, I guess, is the fact that Prince Harry left the monarchy. I have gotten endless amounts of amusement from this for 6 or 7 or 8 months. It's like my guilty pleasure. So watching them flail and watching him in these hostage videos with Meghan Markle, smiling slyly in the back, has just given me endless amusement. So I think that's my stupid thing about 2020 that I really loved.
Oh, I completely
agree. But I think
agree.
more broadly, yeah, from a political standpoint, I think the best thing about 2020, that I will take away from this year is that, and no pun intended for coronavirus, but it really has unmasked our political moment in a way that I've never seen anything else do. I mean, it has unmasked the diversity or, the rich and poor in our economy, who benefits from government policy. It has reduced everyone to gutter politics. No one has the moral high ground. And so we're all in this gutter together. I think that was one of my biggest takeaways from 2020. It debased our politics in ways that we always suspected, but now we actually have proof.
I like how your best part of 2020 is that it all went to hell and debased everything. But I like your silver lining on it. It was revealing. Now we know. This is how it operates. And no one can pretend that it's otherwise. I like the way that you put that, Rachel.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen? What were yours?
So I'm going to have to be as cliche as the day is long. The best moment of 2020 was when Joe Biden got elected president. I just have been absolutely, on the edge of my seat for 4 years, just not being able to fully take a breath. And at the end of the day, it's because I'm a Pollyanna and I just love American democracy, warts and all. There's plenty to fix. There's plenty to focus on. There's plenty that we're going to have to talk about over the next 4 years on this show. Mm-hmm. But it was just an incredible sigh of relief for this country to just be able to feel like I was going to be proud again and not want to cry every time I turned on the television. So for me, that was just a huge watershed moment in 2020. In terms of coronavirus, obviously it is a devastating thing that hit the world, most specifically hit America. It's obviously still raging, but there was a certain sense of family and closeness that returned. Not that I'm advocating a return to, Wally Bieber in the 50s, but there was this, newfound sense of, your family and your home and not focused on the rat race every day, right? Everybody wasn't getting up and rushing off to their commute, right? They were taking time to maybe have breakfast with their family before they ran upstairs and turned on their computer, right? So I think that it sort of gave us a renewed sense of the nuclear household in terms of the people that we loved. And I know that wasn't true for everybody, but to me, that seemed like a really important refocusing on what was important in our lives.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny because both of you sort of chose to take some of the worst aspects of the year and turn them around and say, you know what, I hope that there are things that we actually take forward from this so that future years will be better than this one. There were two moments that I thought of in terms of best political and kind of best general moment. One of them happened this week, which was getting the freaking vaccine to start to roll out so that we can begin to have those silver linings translate into actual better things rather than being all, what did you say, Rachel, in the gutter together?
Yes.
Yeah. That was one of them. The other one I was thinking about, which was, I guess, gave me some of the feels that Jen had when Joe Biden got elected, was when Cori Bush got elected. And overcame this, entrenched incumbent in a Democratic primary against the odds. She is so emblematic, just her personal story, of millions of Americans who struggled, living in her car, coming back from that, becoming a movement leader, and ultimately now ascending to Congress. Rachel, that was one of the things that actually, to me, gave me like a little tiny bit of hope that, you know, if this person can make it to Congress in all of her fierceness, maybe we can start to have a little bit of nice things here in this town.
Yeah, that's always the goal. I would say the Republican analog to that is I've spent some time with some of the new Republican women that have been elected to the House. And, you know, I am really encouraged that they do come from really sort of bootstraps backgrounds. Mary Miller is a farmer. Lauren Boebert didn't graduate from high school. And so I do think that, you know, maybe a slight silver lining of 2020 is that regular people are just fighting for the chance to be in our representative democracy in ways they deserve. So hopefully that carries over to 2021.
No, I think you're right. And, you know, for me, it's funny because mine is kind of the similar one, which is that, yeah, the coronavirus pandemic, all of it was terrible. The economic response has not been bad. It's been largely a dramatic failure. But you can't go back. After you cut checks to people en masse, you're not ever putting that in the bag. You know, you can't just put that back in the bag. There's a certain level of civic contract which has now been completely changed. And people are going to say next time that there's something else, they'll be like, whoa, why are you not doing this? They're going to have bigger expectations of their government. And I have also really enjoyed watching all of the people who claimed that government can't do big things, it's a failure, and all of that, that even despite all of the nonsense here, that we created a world-changing record vaccine in 10 months, all because the federal government was like, we will will this thing into existence. And now imagine if you can do that there, you can do it anywhere. You can't ever put that back in the bag. And it just goes to show that people can demand things of their government and actually get them. And that all it really is a matter of political choice than it is like a matter of we can't do anything. That's for whoever wants to take that. So Jen, go for it.
Well, I mean, I think we also need to acknowledge that the vaccine that eventually popped up on the scene was not a member of Operation Warp Speed. But
you're killing me, Jen. You're killing me, Jen.
I mean, let's just
look,
like
they got a purchase
had
guarantee.
A massive purchase guarantee, and also, by the way, the second one to roll out was Operation Warp Speed, and the government moved. I mean, really.
Regulations,
insane
and all that.
Barriers to make sure that this got rolled out on time. Continue.
Go ahead.
I do think that, you know, a little bit more emphasis on the fact that, yes, the government can move mountains when they want to. But I think we also shone a bright light on the fact that there are certain individuals who are holding up that progress no matter what. And I think that, you know, Mitch McConnell bears a huge responsibility in this for, you know, all of the restaurant workers that are sort of out of work right now, everyone in the service industry. You know, I think that there's, you know, some disagreement about how certain governors are running, you know, the lockdowns or the shutdowns or the partial shutdowns, right? But what we also saw was a complete failure of the federal government to support these folks. And I think that that shined a huge light on the people who were complete obstructionists. And that in and of itself is a good thing because they can't hide behind this facade anymore. You know, I don't think that you're going to hear fiscal responsibility out of the Republicans' mouths for quite some time.
Oh, no, you're going to hear it. Don't worry.
It's already back.
Yeah, it's coming.
But it will be less believable.
Legitimately.
It'll be less, a little bit less believable
but you will
this
hear
time.
it, and we will talk about it here.
Ladies.
We revert to what we know, Jen. To what we know.
They've got 40 years of Reaganism beaten into them. It's not going to die that easily. Ladies, we appreciate you both. Thank you for all your contributions to Rising and to the national conversation generally this year. We really are grateful for you both and wish you all a happy holiday season.
That's right. Thank you, guys.
And you too.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Of course. And we'll be back with more Rising tomorrow.